Hi there. So glad to be with you tonight in your small group. We talked on Sunday about a message called In the Middle. It comes out of Mark chapter 6, verses 45 to 52. In the middle is those situations where we sometimes get to in life where we're not where we want to be. We're further than we used to be, but we seem to be sometimes jammed up in the middle. And Jesus came to the disciples. In fact, he sent them into a difficult situation that they weren't anticipating. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the lake, in the middle of the storm. It was this space between two places, and they were trying to get there. In the middle of the night represents that darkness that we often feel. Darkness of discouragement, darkness of fear, darkness that seems to cloud our vision. Things aren't working out as we had hoped they would work out. And then the darkness of the lake is sometimes that situation where things haven't changed, where God promised something, but we haven't seen it yet. We're trying to move forward in it, but nothing seems to be changing. Give the example of Abraham, who was promised to be the father of many nations, but didn't even have a child at that time. And for 25 years, nothing changed, but he was stuck in the middle. And then finally, in the middle of the storm. Storms come for all kinds of reasons. They come because sometimes it's just part of life. The rain falls on the righteous and on the unjust, and things are just happening in life. Sometimes storms come because of our own decisions, bad decisions we make. We don't listen well, or we do something out of character or out of line, and we get in a difficult situation. And sometimes storms come because of what others do to us. But regardless of why we're in the middle, there we are. So I want you to think about tonight are you in the middle? What does it mean to be in the middle for you, in the middle of darkness? What kind of situations are challenging for you right now, where you can't figure out how to move forward, where they're causing discouragement or maybe fear, or causing you to pull back a little bit? Or maybe you're in a situation that just hasn't changed. You've been working at it, you've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been doing all kinds of things, but you're still stuck. What would it look like to move forward? Are you stuck because you haven't moved, or are you stuck because God has kept you there? Or is there something you need to do? Maybe talk about that. And finally, in the middle of the storm, talk about, maybe spend a little bit of time talking about some of the storms that you've caused yourself, so that we are all on level playing field. And then there's some of the storms that you may feel comfortable to share or not to share, depending on how deep they are, that have been caused by others. But in it all, Genesis 50 and verse 20 reminds us that what the enemy intended for evil, God turned around for good. Romans 8 and 28 reminds us that all things work together for good to them that love him. Philippians 1 and 6 says that he who began a good work will be faithful to complete it. So maybe to finish up tonight, spend some time talking about where you have seen God turn a situation around, where you have seen something that's difficult and painful be turned around for good, where as you've been faithful, you've seen God's faithfulness show up. And I would encourage you to spend some time praying. All of us go through storms. All of us go through times where we're stuck in a jam. But with the goodness of God and the help of people, the people of God, the Word of God, and the Spirit of God, we can come through, not just come to a storm, not just come to a jam, but come through together. So I'll be praying for you, praying for Life Church, and pray that tonight goes well for you and your group.